guys, sup, Scotch Duck here, once again. Right, we don't have too many of these left, do we? I mean, what else could I do? Okay, I guess I gotta do top 20 PS1, I definitely need to do top 20 Mega Drive. But there's a few consoles that I'm definitely not going to do this for, in case you were wondering it. Like, for example, I definitely can't do top 20 Master System games. I've barely got 20 Master System games, and I've barely played fucking any of them. But whatever, you read the title, Nintendo 64, so here we go. So yeah, the Nintendo 64 is like, it's a very special console, I gotta admit, because in that sort of like 32-bit era, I want to say that the N64 was my favourite of the three, you know, because I had the Sega Saturn, which I barely fucking played when I was younger. All of my friends, and I mean like everybody I knew had like PS1, so I got a fair deal of PS1 playing that way. And my brother was actually the one who had the N64, and I definitely spent the most time playing N64 over anything else, so that definitely has to be said. And as a result, there's definitely, like I said in my last video, I feel like with the N64 there's a sort of like quality over quantity issue, because there really isn't that many really good games for the N64, but the games that are really good are really, really good. You know, that's just an opinion I sort of hold personally. And I guess one other thing which is worth saying, that I kind of alluded to in my last video as well, is that I had to go on eBay and quickly buy a few games to like make up this list. And in one instance on this list, I actually had to like I actually popped in a few N64 games I hadn't played yet, because I literally didn't have 20 games that I thought were like really, really good. There's just so many games that I've yet to like properly play, or just didn't find that good. So how long are we into this video? Number 20, Harvest Moon 64. Now, this is an American cartridge, and just to show off how it goes, for those of you that don't know, this is what the back of an American N64 cartridge looks like. This is what the back of a UK N64 cartridge looks like. And this is how those cunts at Nintendo region lock the damn thing. It literally will not fit in, okay? Now, I actually, as a result, have not really played this one that much. I have it on the Wii U Virtual Console, and I've played it for like an hour. But I am that confident. Like, I really liked that hour that I played, and I've just not had time to go back to it yet. But I'm extremely confident that this will go up even higher on this list, okay? You all know how much of a Harvest Moon whore I am, so that is something that I'm just gonna, fuck it. Harvest Moon is number 20, I just need to put it on the list, so yeah, that's that. Yeah. I fear this is gonna be, well, I fear this is going to be another list where I don't have too much to say about the entries, but wait till we get a bit higher. That's definitely the case. Speaking of a bit higher, this is a game that I'm actually somewhat meh about again. I struggled to find 20 that I really liked, and I do like this game, but it's not like a massive mega favourite or anything. Perfect Dark. True story. True fucking story. Perfect Dark 0 for the Xbox 360. I like that game. I think it was alright. It was the very first, that was the second 360 game I played behind a Cameo. All rare, holy shit. But yeah, I finally got around to trying out this one, which was the original Perfect Dark, and the criticism I hear of this one a lot, and I'm sad to say it's kind of true, is that it's just GoldenEye. It really is just GoldenEye, except you're playing as a chick who's a secret agent who's not James Bond. It pretty much is that simple. I mean, the campaign itself was like fun. I remember like playing through it, and I remember like Elvis. Elvis was like hilarious. That was definitely a thing. But yeah, apart from that, it's a shame this IP didn't get like revisited again after Perfect Dark 0. Because again, I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I think there was a lot of potential in Joanna Dark. You know, she was cool. I liked her. But yeah, so I do like this game. It's just not one of the more memorable experiences for me, I guess you could say. Especially in comparison to... Okay, I just talked about it, so it's kind of a spoiler that it's going to be on the list. GoldenEye, yeah. So, yeah. Perfect Dark 0, number 19. I just said 0, fuck's sake, Donald. It's Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark 64. Oh boy, right. Now, number 18, a game from Treasure, one of our favourite companies, it seems, because I just kind of realised that I put a lot of like treasure games on here for this, that, or the other reason. But what we have here is Mischief Makers. This has just entered my mind there, actually. I know that there was a Sin and Punishment game for the N64. I actually downloaded that on the Wii Virtual Console, but I never really got into that one. I don't know why. I didn't like the controls. Like, maybe it was because it was mapped to my classic controller. Weird, compared to an N64 controller. I'm not too sure, but either way, this was a treasure game that I did really like. This is basically a 2D platformer. Didn't really take advantage of any like 3D at all. And I remember one of the weirdest things that, it's weird that this is like what left an impression on me, but you actually use the N64 D-pad to move about. There are so few games that use that fucking D-pad. Seriously, think about it. How many games can you think of that use the N64's D-pad? But yeah, this is like a pretty decent like 2D adventure game where you play as like this android lassie trying to save her perverted creator. Yeah, it's quite anime, this game. But I suppose it's like, maybe it's a bit comparable to like Klonoa in a sense that you like grab enemies and like you have to throw them about and stuff like you do in Klonoa. I wouldn't say it's like as good as that, definitely not. But I saw it through at the end and I had fun with it, so yeah, Mischief Makers by Treasure. Decent, very decent. Okay, next up we have, okay, here we go. This is actually probably the point where things start getting like quite special, I would say. This also is very interesting because I don't know if I don't know if I can say this is famous or whatever, but I don't like Pokemon. You know, I've never been into Pokemon, or that's a lie. I've been into like, when there was that massive Pokemon craze from the late 90s to the early 2000s, you know, obviously I was at primary school at that time, going into high school, okay? I got the Pokemon craze and I was decently part of it, but it mainly came in the form of like watching the anime and stuff, not really playing the games. But there was one game that I can definitely say I loved from the Pokemon franchise. Pokemon Snap. Weird, isn't it? I don't know, it was like, as someone who was just like a fan of the anime of Pokemon, you know? And then again, only Gen 1, I only know Gen 1 Pokemon. I couldn't name you like 5 Pokemon that aren't in Gen 1. I think that's actually quite true, I really can. But yeah, this was like just a fucking photography game where you took pictures of Pokemon from Gen 1 in their natural habitat, and that was cool, you know, that was really cool. I loved like fixing the conditions to like get certain Pokemon to appear. I have distinct memories of like talking to kids like on the playground at fucking primary school telling me, oh, you need to do that to get the Moltres to appear and stuff, and I was just like, really? And I remember going home and trying it and it was working. I was like, yes! You know, and again, it's like, it's so weird because there's really not much to the game at all. You literally are just like, his name's Snap. I remember him from the anime. There was a few episodes where he was there. I don't know if he is like in any of the games because I don't play the fucking games. But he was in this and it was just like, yeah, it almost didn't, okay, I want to say it doesn't really matter that Pokemon was in the game. It really did. It really was cool to see all the Pokemon that I loved seeing from the cartoon on the N64 for you to photograph in their natural habitat. I think I've already talked about that. Can anybody thoroughly explain why this game is so fondly remembered? It's one of those games, it just really is, that everybody really liked, and I was amongst the people who were quite upset that this never came to the Wii U, as in using the Wii U as a camera. Mind you, I kind of want a Fatal Frame game more than Pokemon Snap in terms of using the Wii U as a camera, and we got that, but whatever, can't have them all. But either way, Pokemon Snap, not gonna lie, it has a very big soft spot in my heart, and my favourite Pokemon game. Take that for what you will. Okay, another like licensed game here. Now, as I was like arranging this list, this game was actually quite a bit higher, because I put a lot of time into this one, and really, really liked it, but the more I thought about it, I kind of shot it down a little bit, for the simple reason that I don't think I enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed the source material. And you can actually say the same thing for Pokemon Snap in that sense, but this is to a much greater extent. South Park. Also a bit of a polarizing game, I would say. You know, some people really like it, some people think it's awful. And if I'm not mistaken, this was also on the PS1 where it wasn't as good. Like, it really shone on the N64. But yeah, this is effectively a GoldenEye clone. Again, there really was a lot of like FPS style games for the N64 that tried to cash in on GoldenEye's success, you know? And, but yeah, I got to play as like the kids from South Park and see like all the series references and that. I really was big into South Park because at that time, when I was like, how fucking old was I? I must have been about like 12 years old, you know, like I was pretty much the same age as the kids in fucking South Park, and there were only like 2 or 3 series of it. And I would have them all like on VHS, and I would always watch them, and like there's, I don't want, I'm just contemplating if I should bother gushing about South Park, because I have no idea what South Park is like these days. It's not really something that I actively watch, but when I do see it, I do enjoy it. But honest to God, those first like 3 series were definitely a big part of childhood, which is funny considering I was definitely not old enough to be allowed to watch them, but thankfully my parents were quite cool about that, and they saw how much I loved South Park and they got us this, and yeah, it's just like the show, honestly. There's a lot of humour in there, and it just plays like GoldenEye, so I was okay with that. Yeah, another like one that I can't really, I'm having more to say about this than I thought, but yeah, South Park for the N64. It was good. It was really good. I liked it. I remember pissing on your snowballs and like firing dodgeballs and like picking up cheesy poofs and snacky cakes. It was a good time. It was a good time. Okay, I'm trying not to sound too redundant here. Right, that was number 16, I believe, yeah. Okay, number 15. Here's a game that... Okay, Lilac Wars, aka Star Fox 64. Good game, good game. That really is all I can fucking say about it. Star Fox, honestly, to me, is just the series that's kind of there, you know, and is, like, good. Of the few games that it actually has that are good, in fact, I think it's just the one for the fucking Super Nintendo, its sequel, which got, like, where the only official release was in the SNES Classic Mini thing. And this game, you know, like, nobody really likes Star Fox Zero, nobody really likes Star Fox Assault, or I should say that the general consensus that it's very mixed at the very best. But yeah, I did play this. I got like all the planets and stuff. I got like the proper ending, and it was a good time had. It's just not got that like. I don't want to say nostalgia because that implies that nostalgia accounts for like a bit more than it should, even though a lot of these games to come have a lot of nostalgia for me. But I didn't have that. But I can see why it's so good, and it's not like this high on the list for no reason. It's not like I don't enjoy it at all. I just can't really sit here and say, oh my god, Star Fox, wonderful, fucking best thing ever, the same way I can about other shit. So, yeah. I'll just leave it at that. Lilac Wars. Yeah, not Star Fox 64, Lilac Wars. Number 15. Now, speaking of which, here's a very recent... Here's a very, very recent addition to the list. How recent? I literally just beat this game like an hour ago. Like, I beat it so I could like have 20 games to put on this list, and I was surprised at how high it was going actually. I really did enjoy this game. It's a Rareware game, Blast Corps. This is basically a game where you play as like a demolition team who is destroying the city to make a path for a bomb which is not stopping, so you are destroying the city so the bomb doesn't. It's so funny that way, but really satisfying, seriously. Just like all the vehicles that you control in this game to like destroy cities and all that, you know, and not just that, the more cities, if you destroy every city, you get like 100% completion, so there's a bit of a completionist thing going on with the game, which I also like, and it's a game that I wish I had when I was younger, because I don't have all the time in the world to really sit down and get all the gold medals, because you get gold medals for like doing certain missions in good time, and there goes my fucking phone. Sorry about that. But yeah, because if I did have more time, I totally would be down for just completing this, like totally, you know? But I can't really do that now. Stop it! Maybe I'm pissing off some sort of Blast Course fan somewhere, but either way, yeah, Blast Course. Nintendo 64. Again, just like, I literally just beat it there, and it's that high. The N64 has a lot of untapped potential that I've just not seen into. It really makes you think, it honestly does. And Jump Cut, yeah, sorry, I was just replying to the rude people on my phone, but on to number 13. Here we go. Now, here's a series that I almost feel the same way I do about Star Fox, in a sense that it's from Nintendo and it's just there, but I do have a much bigger place in my heart for this series than I do Star Fox. And that is Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards. Yep, that's what it's called. So yeah, this is a 2.5D Kirby game. You know, not too different to what we're getting like these days. I mean, we got that new one for the Switch coming out, which is basically the same sort of like game as that we've had in the 3DS for the past couple of years. But I guess the gimmick that everybody always talks about with this one is that it's all about combining powers, which is definitely cool, you know, like you can definitely experiment quite a bit with the power-up system in this game. But apart from that, it really is just kind of another Kirby game, you know? But that's not necessarily a bad thing. It does mean, however, that I have very little say, so yeah, Kirby 64, number 13. So, yeah, that's how we'll do that. Right, now, here is a game that, in fact, these next two games, to be honest, right? Number 12 and number 11 are both games that I played, and I know that at the time I really enjoyed, but I think the last time I played them was like 10 years ago, and to be honest, memories are a little bit faded with them. So I feel like I should maybe play them again, but either way, my memories were good enough to say, oh yeah, they deserve a place in this list, absolutely. And the first of which is Rocket Robot on Wheels. Developed by Sucker Punch. I didn't actually know they kept their exact same logo. Well, they've changed that recently, haven't they? With like that new game they're making set in ancient Japan, or was it one of the infamous games? I don't know. But either way, this is like a 3D collect-a-thon platformer where you play as a robot on a unicycle thing and you go about an amusement park and collect shit. And it really is that simple. You know, it was, I guess, one of those like Mario 64 knockoffs. That's a harsh word, but let's face it, there was a lot of those in the N64, but it was a very well executed one for definite, and one that was most memorable. And I know there's been like Rocket references throughout Sly and Infamous, so I wonder who owns the rights to this game. It's published by Ubisoft. Oh yeah, if it's published by Ubisoft, they definitely still have the rights to this game. That's probably why we'll never see a re-release of it. It really sucks, actually. If you can, totally give this a try if like you're a fan of Sly Cooper or Infamous, you know. It's worth checking out, it really is. Again, I don't remember too much to really comment. I do just remember I had a lot of fun playing it. And the same can be said for this next game here, which is Mystical Ninja starring Goemon. Now, I remember in my Super Nintendo video, I had like a Legend of Mystical Ninja up here. That's a game I really like, and like the series is a bit misrepresented over here. You know, we don't have like a lot of the games, definitely not as much as Japan, but the ones we did get are really fucking enjoyable. And this again is a sort of like another sort of 3D platformer game, but you almost have like an open world to explore, like with towns and like multiple playable characters and just like really nice music. And yeah, it's just a very god damn it, I can't think of a term for this that isn't like completely shit. You know, I want to say it's a very Japanese game, but of course it's fucking Japanese. It was made in Japan. I also want to say it's a very N64 style game, but it was also on the Super Nintendo, and I like that. It's a very Goemon game, okay? If you have not played Goemon, shame on you, you should. There was a sequel to this released on the N64 as well, but I think that one was more of like a proper, linear platformer rather than this game that was like sort of open world. But so with that in mind, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna like dig this one a bit more. But either way, Goemon, yeah, good shit, good shit. How many times am I gonna say good shit?